today I am going on a rant. Investing rant. I'll rant about the basic of stocks. I'll rant about brokers. I'll rant about the apps you should use, the platform you should use. I'll rant about why the price of stock go up or down. I'll rant about everything. I won't rant about everything. I mean, I'll just rant about everything investing in Nigeria and abroad. Mostly in Nigeria. Just sit back and just watch me rant. You will see what will happen. So, let us just brush up our skills on the stock market. So basically, you know what the stock is, right? Okay, let's say you don't know. A business can raise funds by selling parts of that business. Globalcom is not on the stock market. Globalcom, the network, that one that they're always doing bonanza, brekete and the rest, they're not public. They're not on the stock market, which is cool. They don't need money in the stock market, or for whatever reason, they don't want to get on the stock market. MTN is on the stock market. Airtel is on the stock market. So what is the process of getting to the stock market? A business will call investment bankers and put value on their business, Basically, put a number on the business. And what they're simply doing is they're like, okay, what do you own? You own 10 factories, you own this building, you own that building. So those are your assets. And also your inventory, that's your asset. You have money in this account, you have money in this other bank account. You own the land in Oyo State, you own land in Jos, Kaduna, Port Harcourt. Those are all your assets. Those add value. They would put a figure to that, okay, you have assets worth 100 billion, which is awesome. But also do not look like, wait, when we are looking at the bank account, we saw that you have loan with this bank, you have loan with this other bank. So we'll minus that loan amount from the asset amount because you have to pay them back. Even though we are not paying now, those are liabilities. So to know your exact value, we would have to deduct that because it's still going to live. They will also look at things like people that have made orders that yet will deliver to. Every other liability, they'll bring that up all together. Now, let's say if you have outstanding NEPA bill, water bill, tax, FRS are disturbing you and you're trying to reconcile, they will deduct all those amounts that you definitely have to pay. They'll deduct that. And let's say that totals to 60 billion. So remember, you have asset of 100 billion. So they'll minus 60 billion from 100 billion, which means your value, your book value, the value of your business is 40 billion. Capish? So that's the business. So these investment bankers will say, okay, so this is the value of your business. So now you'll be like, I want 100 million shares. Cool. So since your business is worth 40 billion and you want 100 million shares, basically each one of your shares will be worth 400 naira. You get it? 400 naira times 100 million is 40 billion. The value the investment bankers put in your business is called market capitalization. So that is the cash, the value of a business. Your market cap, your business is actually worth 40 billion. Now, this is where issuing houses and brokers come into play. Now, people that know me will know I always talk about Afrinvest. But there are other brokers out there. There's Afrinvest, there's Stanbic Stock Brokers, there's United Capital. Even our banks now have investment subsidiaries that serves as brokers where you can use them. Now, brokers are simply like agents. They're the middlemen that are there for people like yourself and myself, and also other institutions. They are there for retail investors and also institutional investors. So that's companies and banks willing to buy and resell stocks. Now, remember that business we were talking about that is worth 40 billion. They do something called initial public offering or IPO. This is where the investment bank will start telling people, other investors, other banks, put the news out there that, this business is going public. You can get a piece of this business for 400 naira. This business, they're into real estate or they're into bread making. This is how they'll make money. They have made profit in the last 5 years or they've made losses, but don't worry. They use the money they get from going to public to build on the business and start making good money in the future. If you enter this business now, in the next 5 years, you'll get your full money plus extra value. You'll be a superstar in 5 years if you invest in this stock. So they go around advertising to people that this is the next big thing. Now, they are not always right. Let me tell you now, good businesses will always shine. Why? Because good businesses will make money, and as they keep making money, people would see that and people will invest. But there are some businesses that after going public, that public price, that 400 naira they used to enter the market, that's the highest they'll ever be. They'll drop to maybe 90 naira and they'll never get to that initial price. There are some businesses like that. But that is not the entire stock market. Just like there are black goats out there, there are white goats, there are brown goats. So you cannot just say Nigerian stock market is bad or Nigerian stock market is good. We have different categories of businesses out there. Now it's your job to pick the right business. So where did we stop? We stopped at the agents. Now let's continue our example. Let's say Zenith Bank, GT Bank, First Bank all buy 5 billion from this business. So that's 4 companies buying 5 billion. That's half of the business gone, 20 billion. These banks are taking it. They're buying it because they feel that in the future, they'll be able to resell it higher than 400 naira each. They would sell it maybe for 500 naira. They've all made their money. Now we still have 20 billion shares to sell. Then some individuals like you and I, people on the street, common man, people that don't even know it's about finance like me. We are, although we don't know it's about business or finance, we would also invest. We say, new business, we'll put our money inside. Let's say we don't buy all that. There are other investment houses that would contribute and they'll buy the shares. We'll all buy up that share. Now that is the initial public offering stage where they go into the market and the company gets their 40 billion. Remember, they sold a part of their business for that 40 billion. And now they have public investors. Now, because they have public investors and the business is not just that anymore, they have to start releasing their financial statements every quarter. Because previously, like Glo, except you're a thief, you cannot find Glo's financial statement. Are you a thief? Why should you see their financial statement? Except you're a staff there in the finance department or you're Mr. Adenuga, you should not know anything about Glo's financial because that's not a public company. But for MTN, they have to release it because they sold part of their business to the public. Now, since they've sold it to the public, they have to tell us how much they sold, how much they spent. And now we as shareholders can now start scrutinizing like, okay, is this a good business? MTN is taking loan. They issued bond, 10 billion. These people are taking loan. They begin to owe money. Okay, maybe I don't want to hold this share anymore. You might be like, they're taking loan. Let me sell this stock. I don't like it. That's one part. But you might look at it because when they're taking loan, because they're a public company, they'll let us know why they're taking loan. So you might look at it and like, why are people taking loan? And they're like, yes, we are now selling that 5G modem. The signal is not that strong. So we want to install some satellites across Nigeria. So this 10 billion naira loan we're taking is to install satellites all over Nigeria so that our 5G will be penetrating any wall. The signal will be fast. So you look at it like another way. I'm like, if they invest 10 billion in improving the network, it will mean that more people will be happy with the network. They will get more customers. Revenue will increase, which is good for you. So you may look at the financials and be like, they're taking loan, but what they're using the money for would help the business in the long run. And you might look at it and be like, they're taking loan to pay some of the old shareholders that want to sell off their shares. So they're taking loan to pay off their old boards and old directors. I would look at that and say, that's not a good way of using a loan, and I would sell my stocks. So there are different reasons why you might want to look at the financials and make a decision. And that is why businesses on the stock market release their financials so that you see the ins and outs in the organization and you make a decision as a business owner that, am I comfortable with what they're using the revenue to do? Am I comfortable with the loans this business is taking? So now, because you have access to the financials, you can see when they buy trucks. Imagine Dangote buying 1,000 extra trucks. You might get worried like, whoa, these guys are wasting our money because you're part business owner, so it's our money. Like, why are they buying 1,000 trucks? We already have more trucks than BUA. We have more trucks than Lafarge. So why is Dangote Cement buying 1,000 more trucks? And as a shareholder, you have every right to ask. And maybe looking through the financials, you see extra details like the type of trucks they're buying. Maybe these trucks are automated Tesla trucks. That's a big deal. You might be like, okay, we don't need to buy diesel. Petrol cost is very high. Our trucks won't be queuing in the filling station. And diesel cost is high, so we don't have to be increasing cost on diesel and petrol. And Nigeria can be hot sometimes, and we'll use this to advantage. These trucks work with solar, and if you buy 1,000 solar trucks, we would save 100 billion or so in diesel and petrol. Now you're looking at that from that aspect, you'll be like, okay, that's a wise investment. They're using our money right. So that's why you have access to the financials. You see things like that, things they purchase, how they spend the money, who they employ, the branches they close down. Now there's this cliche that people that invest in stocks are always looking at newspapers, watching the news. And basically there are things they look out for. Both of us can see the same headline and have different reaction. Let's say I'm invested in Okumu Oil. I'm standing in a bank, you're standing in a bank. And we just see this breaking news saying that Okumu Oil is cutting down its staff. They're firing 500 people. Now you look at it and be like, this Nigeria is bad though. Hey, 500 people will not have job again. 500 people will start looking for a job. Armed robbery will increase. This country is terrible. You need to jackpot and things like that. As an investor of Okumu Oil, you'll be like, hold on, I need to look at our books. You go back to the last quarter book. Did they mention anything about cutting down staff? You go online, you go to the investor relation part of the website, you look for information, try to get details. You can even pick up the call and as an investor call the company and say, I want to speak to this person and this person pertaining some reason. Okay, not because you're holding 10,000 naira stock, you will now say you want to talk to the CEO. I'm talking about people holding bags. When I say bags, I mean bags. But you can actually get details on what exactly is going on. And you can just simply wait till the next financials where they will address why they fired 500 staff. And it will be there waiting that, oh, we felt that they were redundant, and by doing that, we are going to be saving every year 50 million naira. And that money, we feel we will use it to buy acres of land in Edo State or Benue State and grow more oil palm products. And you'll be like, okay, I'm sorry for all those who lost their job, but I see why they're doing it. Your thought process will be different. And that is one side of it. You might discover now that they had to let those people go, 500 people go, because they needed to save money for the company. And you begin to worry because you'll be like, for them to be firing people to save money for the company, are we not selling enough? If I'm not selling enough, maybe I should sell my shares. I don't want to own this business again. So that is part of the use. That is why you have access to these financials. It's not just for mass and start student or econ student to study. It's for you, the investor. And if you are not an investor yet, this is part of the tools you get that you use to know more about the business you're trying to get into. And when you get into the business, you need to track the business. Now, I've made a number of wonderful calls on this channel. Remember when I called Okumu Oil and Presco PLC? It's not magic. I was looking at the books and I was seeing things that were making sense. And when they said their revenue will increase in the next 5 years, it made sense by looking at the book. If it wasn't making sense, I wouldn't have come out to say, guys, I think you should buy Okumu Oil and Presco Oil. And now I still get questions in the comment like, is this a good time to buy Okumu Oil? And I'm going to say this. It's your choice to buy now or wait. That is left to you. But as an investor, every extra cash I get, I put a bit in Okumu Oil, I put a bit in Presco PLC. Is that not redundant? They both do oil palm. I honestly cannot make up my mind which is the best. So I invest in both. I know when one was 55 naira and the other one was 40 something naira. And I followed them till now that they're both over 100 naira. And do I think that by this time next year they will both be above 200 naira? Yes. Yes. From the financials, yes. These guys will keep making money. Did you see the record revenue they both made this year? I don't see any reason why they should crash. Oh, hold on. Actually, let me just rephrase that. We're in Nigeria. Except something devastating happens in Nigeria. Let's say the election takes a left turn. God forbid. That will not happen. But let's say something terrible happens to the economy, or let's say Okumu Oil is supporting Peter Obi and Presco PLC is supporting Atiku, and Tinubu wins, and he decides to blow tariff on them or chase them by the law and whatever conspiracy is out there. Let's say that happens. Then yes, I can see them struggling. But these examples are extremes. So I see this business growing stronger. Look, you hear that Nigeria's population is growing every year. And you're like, oh my God, we are getting overcrowded. We're already here. We don't have a job. The money is not going around well. And we're adding to the population. But as an investor, I'm looking like, wow, that's fantastic. That means there are more mouths to feed. That means Okumu Oil will sell more. Presco PLC will sell more. So being an investor structures the way you think about things like this. So let's get back to buying a stock. So you now know how stocks are created in the first place. You now know part of the roles brokers play. You should also know why it's good to read the financials, why the company publish the financials, and how you can interpret these financials. That's all well and good. So we now move to the phase of the app or the platform to use to buy. But all these things are still linked to everything we've talked about so far. So for example, if you look through all the apps or platforms for investing, they are virtually alike. There's this video I'm going to put in the description. I'm also going to put at the end screen of this video, and it's also going to show at the top right of your screen right now. You can right click and open it in a different tab and watch later, or you could just wait to the end of this video if you're using mobile and watch that next. But basically what I was talking about here was showing you how to interpret the charts, whether it's stock or a mutual fund or what. The charts are the same. The price of a stock in Afrinvestor is the same price of the stock in another broker, whether it's Chaka or Trove. Now, I know some of you are scared of investing in Nigerian stock, so you invest in international stock. So you use apps like Chaka, Bamboo, Trove, and the other international apps to buy USD stocks, to buy dollar stocks, which is fine. In short, this is not a bad time to buy dollar stock because the market has crashed. The US stock market crashed this year. It's all down. So if you want to buy some or you're fully into them, this is not a bad time to go inside and buy, which is fine. You can invest abroad. The charts abroad, the chart in here are virtually work the same way. Same with the same app and platforms used by cryptocurrencies. So if you're already familiar with those, the difference between that and the stock markets is not that much. So you can use Afrinvest, either their website or the app. The app is called Afrinvestor 2.0. You can use that app. You can use ARM Stock Trade. That's another wonderful app. They also have a web platform. You can use Stanbic Stockbroker. You can use any broker out there. Now, each broker is unique. They all have their advantage and disadvantages. All fingers are not equal. But there's something that's universal across all these brokers, which is they charge a fee. And why wouldn't they charge a fee? They're helping you put all those stocks in one place where you can easily find them, look at these numbers and make a purchase. So you're paying them for the services. So there's commission, there's brokerage fee, and there's also going to be a tax portion to that and other levies, which is fine. It should not break the bank. But you might want to compare this across broker to find out which one is the cheapest. Some of you want to save every kobo. You are very meticulous. It's fine. You can look for the broker that charge the least. It's very fine. But they basically do the same thing. Although some of them, their platform is not that great. They're still learning a bit, so it's a bit slow. It crashes sometimes and all that. But it's not something that will majorly affect your investing experience. I do not think so anyways. That's my personal opinion. So basically, they are there to create this secondary market for you. Now, we have buyers and sellers in the stock market. Now, let's go back to our initial example. Remember that business we started with? That when they went public, the stocks were now worth 400 naira. Now, that is fine and good. Everybody have gotten into it and the shares is currently 400 naira. Immediately, you have buyers out there in the market saying, I love this stock. This stock is the best stock. This business is wonderful, but I cannot pay 400 naira for it. So they'll make an order saying, if anybody that owns this stock is willing to sell it for 390 naira, I'll buy. That is it. This stock is wonderful, but I can't buy it for 400 naira. But once it's 390 naira, I'm going to buy 1,000 of this stock. They'll put that order out there. And investors can go to the platform and look at the order book. And you see it there. You see that, somebody is willing to buy stocks, but only at 390. And if you don't mind, maybe let's say you need cash urgently and you need to sell it. But nobody's willing to buy for 400 naira now. But somebody's willing to buy for 390 naira. You can choose that. But I need this cash ASAP. I need this cash to save a life now. So I don't care losing 10 naira on each. You can now take that person's offer and give him 1,000 of your stock for 390 naira. Once you accept that 390 naira, automatically the whole market will see that somebody just bought this stock for 390 naira. So this stock is worth 390 naira. Automatically. It's not your fault though. You are here. You bought the stock for 400 naira. You are minding your business, thinking long term. Somebody now somewhere now because he needs money and he just bought our market now, reduced the price. Now the market, everybody is looking at the stock like, this stock is worth 390 naira. Because the last transaction, the last agreement that was made in the market was on 390 naira. So that's the value of the stock. That stock has been devalued by 10 naira. It's nobody's fault. Actually, it's those two people that did that transaction. It's their fault. And there are plenty in the market. So they've devalued that stock now, and that's the new price. Now, if the remaining investors insist that we would not sell our stock, we will wait for this price to be 410 naira, they can put that on the system. It will show on the order book. It will show there. Now, buyers, people that are interested in that stock will come down and look. The last price is 390. They might see somebody willing to sell at 390, but the person only wants to sell 10 and they want to buy 10,000. So that's of no use to them. They look at the market, they see that every other person have set their price to 410 naira. They set their price to it. You've not accepted it. That is the price they're thinking of. That's the price they put on the order book. But nobody has to accept it. You can now decide as an investor like, the last transaction was 390 naira. Who are this one I want to sell at 410? I'm not going to buy at 410. No. I'm going to buy at, in short, I want 380 naira. In short, I want to reduce by 10 naira. And you put it there as a buyer, as an investor, like, I want to buy it at 380 naira. Now, if one of the investors feel like, it seems I need money, emergency. I need money. I want to buy gifts for my family or my friends for Christmas or for the birthday. And I need that cash. I don't have cash anywhere else. I will lose the money. I don't mind. And they sell for 380 naira. Boom. That stock is now 380 naira. See how people used to go by everybody. These people are spoiling market for everybody. You might wonder what is happening. This business is a good business. Why are people pricing for cheap? Maybe because they're not desperate enough. Now, let's say that business now close the deal. There's now news maybe on Twitter or on Channels TV or on some other channel saying that Elon Musk is talking to this business, so it seems Elon Musk wants to invest in this business. Do you know what happens? People, they were saying that they will wait for the price to be 380 or 370, or people that are not sure yet. They want the business, they like the business, but they don't want to pay that 400 naira. They don't want to pay 390, they want to pay 380. Now that they're hearing rumor that maybe Elon Musk wants to invest in this business must be awesome. Let me enter now. So they'll go back to the market and say, okay, yeah, who are those? I want to buy na. And they look at the cheapest offer there. The cheapest offer, remember, people have set it to 410 naira. They'll take it. Immediately they conclude that transaction at 410 naira, the price has gone up. That business is worth more now. Somebody has made a profit of 10 naira from the original price. They've sold their stock for 410 naira. The new price of that business per share is 410 naira. Some other people will look at that room and be like, Elon Musk wants to buy this business. Let me see how the chart has grown. Now remember somebody just bought it for 410 naira. So these people go to the stock market, they look at their broker and look at the app and they look at the chart. They'll say, the price just dropped now. Is it because Elon Musk wants to buy it? The price has now moved from 380 naira to 410 naira. Let me buy now. This stock might go to 600 naira. But now people are not willing to sell at 410. People have finished buying all the people selling at 410. The next set of investors, they are saying that if you buy at 410, would you be willing to sell at 410? No, you set the price to maybe 420. Once this new set of people that are interested buy at 420, boom, the stock is now worth 420 naira. Price has jumped again. Now, other people seeing this news will be like, the price jumped from 380 to 410, from 410 to 420. I'm going to invest. Now, sellers will start saying that, people are rushing, people are buying at better prices, and they'll start increasing their buys bit by bit. And as people are accepting these new prices, these new higher prices, the value of that shares keep going up. That is how the stock price start going up. Now the demand start increasing because people are seeing that news that Elon Musk wants to buy this business. This business will be great. And this exact thing happened to Twitter when the initial rumor started that Elon Musk wanted to buy it. And news like this, good news that affect businesses, affect the stock price. Let's say you discover that Peter Obi is invested in Dangote Cement and he wins the election. What are you going to do now? You just sit down and be like, this new president and he's invested in Dangote Cement too. You're not going to use that information for anything. You buy inside because you imagine that this guy would make policies that favor Dangote Cement because he has shares in Dangote Cement. I'm not saying that's the right thing. I'm not saying it's ethical. I'm just using this as an example of what makes price go up. And this is how people get information from the news, from newspapers, from Twitter, to make calls, quick calls to get invested. And these news and rumors help increase the prices of shares. And the same thing with bad news. Once you start hearing bad news and people start getting scared, people that bought at 380 will be like, before this thing crash, let me sell it at, should be now it's 420, let me sell it at 415. They've reduced the price. People that bought at 400 will be like 415. I don't mind, I'll make 10 naira, let me sell it at 410. People that bought it at, remember when it crashed to 390 that time, those people did that transaction. They'll come and say, this has dropped, has dropped like 2, 3, 4 times. Okay, I can sell it at 400 now. Boom, price is at 400 now. There's panic. People that don't know anything about the stock market, people that just came inside, people that just bought at 400 now are all scared now. People will now start selling. The price will start going down because people are selling at the next price available. So that is how the price go up and down. The broker you choose is not meant to have any effect on the price of the stock. The price of the stock should be universal, real time across all brokers. So the broker is there to assist you, is there to give you wonderful customer service, and that is how you should choose a broker. You should choose a stock broker that would give you wonderful customer service, that you can walk into the office anytime you feel like, that you feel that the response time is fast, the app is wonderful, the app does not hang, and all. Those are reasons you should choose broker. You can also choose brokers for reasons like they don't charge so much, so they're not eating so much into your small money you're investing. That's also another reason to choose broker. I hope you all enjoyed this video. It's long. I know it's long, but I was going on a rant, so I have to rant my mind out. I didn't know when all the time went, but if you got to this stage, I'm happy for you. And if you like, I'm not forcing you. If you like, smash the like button. I'm not begging you. If you like it, press the like button. If you also enjoyed it so much that you say, I shouldn't be the only one enjoying this blessing now. This is the time to share with people. You want to share it maybe on your WhatsApp status, you want to share it on your social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, anywhere you want to share it, you are free to share it. It's free. I'm not going to hold you for sharing it. I'm not going to query you. You can share it. If you also are not subscribed to the channel, you can subscribe. Remember to subscribe. But if you don't want to, I'm fine with it. It's okay. See, I've been on 4,000 subscribers for like over a year now. So if you don't subscribe, no pay me. If you subscribe, no pay me. Anyone you choose, I'm fine with it. I'm kidding, guys. I'm just playing with you. If you enjoy it, let me know in the comment section below. If you have questions, please ask there. I will try and do another rant. And if I can answer your question in the comment section, why not? Why they call it in the comment section if I know if you answer for there? But if it requires a video, I'll do another rant. If you enjoyed this rant, let's do more investing rants. Cheers.